Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive.
Today we're really diving deep into the world of pop music
Okay.
with none other than Mr. Liam Payne.
All right.
And you, our listener, you want to know, is there more to this guy than, just being a heartthrob from One Direction?
Mm-hmm.
So we're diving into this article that someone sent you, and let me tell you, it really tries to grab your attention.
Oh, really? How so?
Well, they really went for it with the whole shocking secrets angle.
Yes, you've got to love a good headline.
Right. But it definitely makes you wonder, especially with someone like Liam Payne. I mean, he's been famous since what, like 16, 17?
Yeah, he was practically grown up in the public eye.
Totally. And the article kind of lays it all out there.
What do you mean?
Like all the stuff you'd expect, the constant paparazzi, the crazy dating rumors.
Right, right.
But then it starts hinting at something more.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What kind of something more are we talking about?
So they mentioned that Liam's been pretty open about struggling with anxiety and depression, which is something you don't always see. That's true. It's not exactly the typical pop star image, is it?
Not really. And on top of that, they get into his business ventures outside of music and even some charity work he's involved in.
Wow, okay, so maybe there's more to this guy than meets the eye.
Right. It's like, is this even the same Liam Payne we think we know?
It's easy to put people in boxes, especially in the world of entertainment.
Totally. We see a few headlines, a music video, and we think we've got them all figured out.
Exactly. But this deep dive is already making me reconsider. It sounds like there might be a much more complex picture here.
Absolutely. And the article spends a good chunk of time on his openness about his mental health.
Which is huge, by the way, for someone in his position.
It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, to be that open about those struggles when you have millions of people watching your every move.
And so many of them young fans who might be going through similar things themselves.
Exactly. And the article even mentions how Liam's been encouraging others to seek help if they need it.
See, that's what I mean about a deeper picture.
Right. It's not just about him. It's about using his platform to make a difference.
Okay, so we've got the mental health aspect, the business ventures, the charity work. Anything else hinting at this shocking secrets thing?
Well, buckle up because this is where it gets interesting.
Oh.
So apparently back in 2012, Liam got arrested.
Arrested? What for?
Possession of marijuana.
No way! Seriously, I had no idea.
Yeah, it was definitely a surprise to me too. The article doesn't shy away from it.
Wow, so this was back when One Direction was just hitting it big, right?
Right, when everything was blowing up for them.
Mm.
I can't even imagine the kind of pressure that comes with that level of fame at that age.
Talk about a recipe for bad decisions. It's a good reminder that even those who seem to have it all still make mistakes.
Definitely. And it
What?
kind of throws a wrench in that whole perfect pop star narrative, don't you think?
For sure. It reminds us that there's a real person behind the persona.
Absolutely.
It really makes you think about the whole pressure cooker environment of fame, especially at such a young age.
No kidding. But you know what else struck me? It's like he didn't just ride the boy band wave and call it a day.
You're right. The article highlights how he dove into some interesting business ventures.
Like that whole thing with Hitmaker, right?
Yeah, Hitmaker is fascinating. It's this platform for aspiring musicians and producers.
Wait, really? I didn't catch that part. What do they do?
It helps them connect, collaborate, kind of break down those barriers in the music industry.
That's really cool. It's like he's using his experience to actually help others coming up in the industry.
Exactly. It's not just about making a quick buck, it's about giving back.
Totally. And speaking of giving back, what about that whole charity aspect? I'll admit, I was surprised.
Oh yeah, the article touches on that too. He's involved with quite a few different causes.
The one that stood out to me was his work with UNICEF. It sounds like he's really passionate about children's rights.
Which makes sense considering his own experiences growing up in the spotlight.
Right. It's like he's using his platform to advocate for those who don't have one.
Exactly. And, that actually ties into another point the article made about Liam's upbringing.
Oh, yeah, they talked about how he's not from some big city with a stage mom pushing him into the spotlight.
Yeah, he comes from a small town in the UK. Pretty normal family by the sounds of it.
Yeah. And it made me wonder, do you think that kind of grounded upbringing plays a role in how he handles everything?
I think it has to. Having those roots, that sense of normalcy, it can be a real anchor when the whole world feels crazy.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like no matter what's going on, he's still got that core family and those values to fall back on.
Exactly. And that can be crucial in an industry that's all about image and pressure.
Totally. I mean, think about it. He's got all these people telling him to be Liam Payne the heartthrob. And let's be real, there's a lot of money to be made by playing into that image.
Oh, absolutely.
So to see him kind of pushing back against that, exploring other sides of himself,
It's refreshing, isn't it?
definitely. Okay, so let's bring it back to the beginning.
Right.
This article promised us shocking secrets about Liam Payne.
Right. They really went there with that headline.
And you know what? There were some surprises.
Definitely that whole marijuana arrest thing, even though the charges were dropped.
Right. Like, I had no idea.
Me neither, but honestly, what stayed with me the most is this idea of contrast.
Between the headlines and, like, the actual person.
Exactly. We see the pop star, the celebrity, but then we dig a little deeper and...
We see the entrepreneur, the philanthropist,
Yeah.
the guy who's actually trying to use his platform for something good.
Right. And we're reminded that there's a whole other side to these public figures that we rarely get to see.
Totally. So to circle back to our original question.
Is Liam Payne more than just a heartthrob?
Exactly.
I think we can safely say yes.
I think we can too. He's clearly got depth ambitions, a desire to do good. It's pretty inspiring, actually.
It really is, and it just goes to show there's always more to the story.
That's what I love about these deep dives. It's so easy to just skim the surface and make assumptions.
Right. But when you actually take the time to dig a little deeper, you never know what you might find.
Exactly. So listener, we want to hear from you. What surprised you most about Liam Payne's story? Did anything change your perception of him? Head over to our whatever your social media is and let us know.
And hey, if this deep dive sparked your curiosity, don't stop here. There's a whole world of fascinating people and stories out there just waiting to be explored.
So until next time, happy diving.